chicken! No, chicken! Mess you up!
That's not going to be good for business. That's not going to be good for anybody.
Hello and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinnie.
My name's Matt.
How are you?
Doing great.
Happy 5th of July to you.
Yeah, this is a Seinfeld holiday, I think, right? Unofficial
Unofficial, yes.
Seinfeld holiday.
Normally we spend it together.
Yeah, it's funny. For the past 3 years, we get together to go watch the Brooklyn Cyclones play in Coney Island. But this year, the Seinfeld night's not going to happen till August. But, today, the day we're recording, is the 28th anniversary of the Seinfeld pilot, the Seinfeld Chronicles.
Oh, that's a established adult, 28 years.
I wasn't around for the pilot. I mean, I was born, but I had no idea what Seinfeld was. Aren't you one of those few people that watched it that summer?
I vaguely recommend...
I'm not swearing.
Yeah, I don't want to swear. But I vaguely recall my parents... I remember Jerry in the red sweatpants and the blue sweatshirt. Vaguely remember that when I was young. So I think they were around, but anyway, they were early adopters. So Hence was I.
Of course. Well, I'm always curious to hear from listeners who've been fans since the beginning, and I mean the beginning that summer of '89 when I think it played after. Oh, God, I don't know if it was after Cheers or not. I found a great clipping. You remember those old, it was like a TV guide, but it was like something you'd get in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up here. Right on. Okay, so it premiered after Night Court, and it premiered before Miami Vice at 9:30. And of course, as we remember, Vinny, I'm looking up one channel. It was running during the second half of Jake and the Fat Man. So.
Nice. Kept losing to that fat guy.
But yeah, I always like July 5th, especially since we started this podcast on July 5th, 2014, the 25th anniversary.
Happy Seincastiversary.
Yeah. I was really thinking about it over the weekend for the 4th because I was at my in-laws. And as most of our listeners know, the early days of Seincast sound horrible. And that's because I was putting it together at the last minute because I wanted to make that July 5th deadline. And... my in-laws, I knew nothing, right, about recording the podcast, how podcasting worked, and my in-laws had just moved to this new house, and they didn't have internet yet. And my father-in-law he's pretty tech-savvy, but he's wrong on a few things.
The government!
That's not far off. In terms of quality. And he's like, why don't you just tether the 4G from your phone, and you can use that to record? He's like, that'll sound good.
Don't piss me off, Walt.
And I did, and I think we had to do that for the first couple episodes. That's why the audio is just garbage. And
the iTunes reviews show it.
Yeah. Anyways, also want to let our listeners be sure to check out the 90s, the CNN series that I think they've covered the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Now we're up to the 90s. New season is starting this Sunday, July 9th on CNN. They're going to kick off with a 2-hour special all about television of the 90s. And this is just to say that there's probably going to be some Seinfeld content in there. I've seen some commercials of the Seinfeld cast, so...
I hope they use that clip from the Wigmaster. Get a calendar, honey, it's the 90s.
You never know. But once again, that's on Sunday, July 9th on CNN. And I'm sure we'll talk about it next week. See what kind of Seinfeld bits they have on there.
He doesn't do bits.
Of course not. You don't have a proper workstation. Hey, speaking of the checks, I thought we could bring up two little points that we addressed last week. Made a mistake at the end, or at least I did, and... you were probably so tired, you just rolled with it.
I'll go down on that ship with you.
All right, got? At the end of the checks, you have George talking to Mr. Wilhelm at Nakahama Broadcast Corporation. And Mr. Wilhelm has been abducted by the Sunshine Carpet Cleaners, And the last line of that scene is the executive saying in Japanese, with these two idiots, I don't know how the Yankees won the World Series. And I theorized that line was from an earlier scene with George and Jerry, because Jerry's not present, right? Like, who are the two idiots? But a lot of our listeners let us know that the two idiots are obviously George and Wilhelm, who both work for the Yankees.
Okay.
So just a flub on my part, but
so we were half right. We got one idiot correct.
Well, I think the thing that went over my head is, how did the execs know that Wilhelm worked for the Yankees?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how do they know?
But any questions?
Hey, maybe we should ask Miss Yoshimura. Maybe she knows.
Hey, speaking of Miss Yoshimura, I texted you the other day this fantastic image that one of our listeners, Holly Ellinor, put together.
Well, first of all, let's say thank you to Hi Holly. She posted on Facebook, hey, did you ever notice this? If you do a side-by-side of Susan in the NBC pitch meeting from season 4, as well as the Nakahama Broadcast Corporation meeting from this current season we're in, Miss Yoshimura and Susan are wearing the exact same outfit. Even the legs are crossed in the same fashion, but it's the same, kind of tannish beige outfit with the black lapels. So that was a fantastic pull by Holly to I don't know. I'm curious to know how she picked up on that. Did she kind of just Google image search Susan from the meeting, or was that something she had rolling around up there for, waiting for this episode, waiting for the perfect time to email us?
Right.
But either way, wonderful.
Well, every once in a while, a listener, every week actually, listeners point out things that we totally missed. Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, a listener will completely blow our minds, right? And this was one of those moments, especially because I think we covered all of the Susan Yoshimura parallels, right?
We tried, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think she liked me? Same thing. But who thinks to go back and look at what she was wearing?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what the episode is with Susan, but it's one of the handful of meetings with Jay Crespi, Stu Shermack, whatnot.
Crespi. Man, the show that keeps on giving. 28 years later, we still found something new and exciting. Thanks to this listener,
yes.
Holly.
Yeah. So thanks again, Holly, for sending that in. That really blew our minds. And thanks to everyone who's reached out in the past couple of weeks with just emails and notes on episodes. I think we need to revisit Newman's mailbag in a future episode. And why not wait 2 more weeks when we get the episode where Jerry takes over for Newman's mail route?
It'll be a fine return of Newman's mailbag.
For sure. But Vinny, before we get started here, I thought we could give out some shout outs to listeners who have donated to the podcast. If anyone out there likes what you hear, has been a fan for a while, and you'd like to support us, we'd really appreciate it if you visited paypal.me/Seincast. Once again, that's paypal.me/Seincast, or you can click the donate tab on our Tumblr page. This helps keep the show ad-free and deal with all of our monthly hosting costs. So huge thanks and appreciation to the following listeners: Ryan Kehoe, Sean Mullaney, Noah Carcaton, Aaron Metcalf, Jeffrey Rickles from Cold Spring, Kentucky, Henning Brunner from Sulzbach, Germany, Kevin Chen from British Columbia, and Vinny, I saved the last one for you.
Amanda Nowicki from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Thanks, guys, for donating. And if you're wondering, that last one was just a vague Wayne's World reference. So
Matt likes to try and test me, and I was wondering why he singled Amanda out, but it clicked right away that I was supposed to pronounce it like the Algonquin.
Yes. What does it mean again?
It's Algonquin for the good land.
Yes, exactly. Well, Vinny, what episode do we have this week?
We have the 8th episode of Season 8, The Chicken Roaster, written by Alec Berg and Jeff Schaefer, directed by Andy Ackerman, and originally aired November 14th, 1996.
What a great episode to be talking about on this Signiversary, right? July 5th. Love The Chicken Roaster. I'll just say that right out the gate. I think this is one of the best episodes of the season.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Do you feel the same way, or is it one of those too wacky to rank among the best?
You know what? It kind of started off a little slow for me, and I'm like, I'm kind of feeling it. And then the red light poking through the peephole, and then all of a sudden, bam, I'm in, and I'm loving the episode. So, yes.
Speaking of the red light, when we saw the Seinfeld apartment sponsored by Hulu, a couple of years ago, one of the great little details they included was a red light on Kramer's peephole.
So one might assume that when we were visiting the Seinfeld replica set, we were visiting them on November 14th, 1996. Work with me.
So Hulu froze the apartment on November. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, okay, see ya. Well, let's talk a little inspiration for this week. Good thing about Jeff Schaffer and Alec Berg is they share a lot of behind-the-scenes trivia on the DVD sets. So we have a lot to talk about here and throughout the episode. Let's talk about this whole red light chicken roaster idea. Jeff had a brother who lived in New York across from the Empire Hotel, and this neon sign would soak his apartment in red. Jeff knew he wanted to use that storyline, especially for Kramer, but he couldn't really, make it work. Would Kramer develop like a dark room, or would he have trouble seeing? He mixes up his reds and his whites. But that idea stayed on this, storyboard forever, for years. Not until he returned to visit his brother a few years later. His brother moved, and across the street or nearby, there was a Kenny Rogers Roasters, just like in the show. Mm-hmm. And right above the chicken place was a law firm, the small law firm. Apparently, the smell was so strong from the restaurant. Not only strong, but unpleasant, that the lawyer, his name was Aaron Chess Lichtman, started posting signs in his windows. Things that would say bad food, bad chicken.
Mess you up.
I don't know about that one, but have you ever heard about this true story?
I didn't know that Kramer's protest of Kenny Rogers was derived from a true story. I did not.
Right. So I did a little digging, and I found several articles from 1996 and later on 98. The first article is from the Daily News, and this talks about the beef the chicken beef thing, that started between Aaron Lichtman and the store owner, Edmondo Schwartz, right? Oh my gosh, This lawyer is hanging these signs up in his windows, and it's pissing off the owner. So it became like this local, New York story. Later, the New York Times picked it up, and Lichtman was taken to court by the Roasters owner, and the judge ruled that the lawyer was protected by the First Amendment. I thought you were
gonna say he ruled that he became his butler.
Not quite.
There's so many little, everything you're saying. It's triggering a reference. I like to get the Daily News.
Yeah, of course.
And then the owner, I thought you were going to say Eduardo Carocchio. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So the lawyer is protected under the First Amendment to put these signs in his window saying how bad the food is in the store below him. Fast forward 2 years later, the New York Times posts another article saying that the Kenny Rogers Roasters store had closed. It went bankrupt. The franchise owner owed the landlord hundreds of thousands in back rent. And wouldn't you know it, the landlord's lawyer was Aaron Lichtman, the guy who was putting all the signs up. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, this very small circle of New York drama between chicken roasters and lawyers and whatnot. So
20 years later, we're talking about it in the show.
So I'll post all those articles in our show notes if anyone wants to check them out. I think it's fascinating stuff, especially since it's, I think, better known as a Seinfeld episode.
Oh, yeah.
At this point.
Next on the behind-the-scenes trivia, every summer the writers would walk around New York trying to kind of get a whole New York state of mind and try and come up with ideas for the show. And one day Jeff Schaffer and Alec Berg bumped into a friend from college, Seth Jacobson. And this guy Seth had a meeting to attend. The guy says, blow it off, let's go to lunch. And sure enough, everything went down as we see in the episode. The guy had this huge meeting, and Alec and Jeff were kind of puzzled. I can't believe he blew that off just to come to lunch with us. And even Jeff said, we were just being nice, because he's an acquaintance. They only knew him through Moochie.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy thinking of the writers, it's the fresh season, and they're walking around New York trying to gather ideas that are New York based or, related to New York. I really like that.
Right. I think we heard that Tom Gamble and Max Pross, of course, did this. But I don't know if we've ever talked about Jeff and Alec's adventures. Mm-hmm. Maybe they weren't that memorable until they actually experienced something that could go into an episode. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, they had a friend who had been living in Russia, and he wanted to buy one of those, fantastic Russian hats. And they heard from their friend that apparently most of those Russian hats aren't sable. You'd think they'd be, you'd think they'd be this quality hat. it's actually nutria. And the friend found out that if the hats got wet, the fur would fly right off. So Jeff and Alec just love that idea of just fur flying off this hat, maybe onto people or their food. And they kind of coined that term rat hat.
This episode's really writing itself, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. And I have one last bit here from... so let's talk about Kenny Rogers here for a second. Getting the Kenny Rogers Roasters Company to agree to this episode was a little tricky. At first, the chain was excited. We're going to be on Seinfeld. This is incredible. Until they got to the part about the rat hat.
Well, it wouldn't be good for business.
Yeah, not good for anybody. And Alec and Jeff said, we'll try to write around it. But in the meantime, let's get your permission and we can get the storefront built for filming. We'll get the ball rolling. The wheels are in motion. Mm-hmm. So the writers basically had a decision. Do we rewrite this episode and not include the rat hat? Or do we just lie to Kenny Rogers Roasters? And since they were completely out of ideas, they made the executive decision, we're going to lie.
You lie! How hot is that?
So they told Kenny Rogers Roasters they would not have any rat hat near the restaurant in the show. And even though, of course, they included it, when the reps were on set, they didn't even talk about it. They didn't mention it. They didn't complain about it. They were just so excited to be on the Seinfeld set. It kind of went by unnoticed.
I don't know what the climate was like in the 90s regarding Kenny Rogers Roasters, but if anything, wouldn't they be excited to have this press? And I think the public would be able to establish that Jerry was the one who was causing all the rat hat stuff to debris to be flying all over the place, right?
Right, but I guess when you're a big company like this,
right.
I mean, do you remember this?
Vaguely.
Really? God.
I don't think I ever ate there, but I do remember it being a thing in the 90s.
Okay,
Maybe we'll see it on CNN.
Yeah, you're right. Whole piece about Kenny Rogers. But regarding Kenny Rogers Roasters, it opened in 1991 by Kenny Rogers himself. The chain expanded in the mid-90s to include 350 restaurants in America and abroad, which I think is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
However, they did file for bankruptcy in the late 90s, and Kenny Rogers was acquired by the Nathan's Famous chain, which you're very familiar with.
What am I very familiar with?
Well, Nathan's, that's what we have out in Coney Island.
So you're familiar with it too?
Yeah.
We're both familiar.
I'm including you in this.
Oh, thanks. Look, I'm here still.
About 10 years after Nathan's acquired it, it was sold to this Asian franchisor, which is owned by the Berhaya Group of Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Now, two things. When I heard that, like they were acquired by this Asian franchisor, it reminded me so much of Breaking Bad. Do you remember like the German company that like is funding the meth? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Like there's a sequence where you have like this German lab and they're testing different barbecue sauces for the chicken.
Yes, it's like the start of the season. I do remember that.
Right. So I don't know. I'm just imagining like Kenny Rogers Roaster somehow being involved in some drug trade or something.
Some male pornographic sex ring.
But this is all to say that today in 2017, there aren't any Kenny Rogers Roasters in America anymore. The last one was in a mall in Ontario, California, but it closed in late 2011. Currently, there are 156 locations worldwide, most of them, if not all, being in Asia.
Well, let's put it on the list, Matt.
This is all to say, Vinny, will you go to Malaysia with me?
I'm down.
Pick up some glasses while we're there.
Now we're talking.
Okay. So a lot of, trivia all over the place, but probably the most interesting bit of trivia from my point of view is in regards to Michael Richards this week. Did you hear about this, that this episode wasn't really the best experience for him?
I did not. Share.
Okay, well, Michael Richards apparently was and probably still is a very clean eater, practically vegan. And he had a real tough time with all of these scenes of him just devouring this greasy, oily fried chicken, or roasted chicken, rather. And every take he was in, especially that scene when he's in Jerry's bedroom, rocking back and forth, chowing down. There was a bucket on the side of the bed. And after every take, he would just spit out all of this chewed chicken.
That is a good actor, because you could have fooled me. I had no idea he was so... repulsed by this chicken.
Oh, this episode always puts me in the mood for like a rotisserie chicken.
I can eat some chicken.
To me, the best take is when Newman eats the wing or the drumstick, and he's like, "Oh, it's the wood that makes it good." I'm like, "Oh yeah."
I saw in the commentary that was one of the catchphrases of Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, so I heard that too, and I checked online. It never comes up. So maybe if any of our listeners in Malaysia can...
Please, shed some light on that. Shed some red light on that.
All right, Vinny, let's get started with this week's episode. First scene, we're on the street here at a fruit stand. Possibly Joe's fruit stand?
Possibly.
I don't see Joe working there, so maybe he sold it.
Or he took a vacation day.
Yeah. But, this is part of the new Seinfeld set, so it's a fruit and vegetable stand. George is complaining about the price of some, orange juice. He wants more haggling. Everything should be negotiable.
Even at restaurants?
Are you telling me there's no room to move on pasta? All starches are a scam.
Yeah, especially ziti with that big hole.
So George prices a bowl of like watermelon or berries or something, and he starts haggling with this guy, going so far as to getting banned from the fruit stand. or temporary banned. That's
Wesley Leong. He plays the clerk. He was in a couple episodes of In Living Color, and then a few other sitcoms. He had a single role there. Mm-hmm. Did you notice George was in his red coat? His like red London fog kind of jacket.
Sure.
That kind of brought me back to season 3-4 because I don't recall him wearing that in the more current Seinfeld that we know.
I know what you're talking about. I think of George more in his green jacket.
Yeah, that's definitely. For some reason I want to say London fog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right. We were talking a little bit about It's Always Sunny before we were recording, and do you remember that scene where Mac haggles over a pear?
I do.
He goes from like 50 cents. He's like, all right, bozo, I'll give you 10 cents.
That's his new thing. He's calling people bozo now. Yeah.
And the guy's like, I don't have time for this shit. Give me the 35 cents.
Yeah. Let's talk about this cold open. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts?
Feels kind of random. I actually wasn't that familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, it was kind of like the first time I'd ever seen it. Not one of the stronger season 8 openers.
It kind of feels like filler to me. Like they're just trying to make it to the, the opening scene.
Sure.
Not a fan. The final 3 lines, how about you come back in a week, deal, those were all added by the writers on set.
Okay, so they probably even felt the scene didn't really have much going for it.
Even they were haggling to just move on to the next scene.
Well, let's move on. Next scene, we're on the street again, and Jerry and Kramer stop to notice this Kenny Rogers Roasters that has opened in the neighborhood, complete with a giant neon chicken on the roof. Kramer scoffs at the idea of a Kenny Rogers since there's already chicken places on every block.
He is the gambler.
This episode has a lot of quotes or bits of dialogue that just, they feel like jingles, and what I'm talking about.
Well, the gambler is a jingle, but yes.
Well, I was also talking about "Bye, men," and
Yep.
A lot of lines sticking in my head this week. So Kramer has to head out. What's he doing?
Got to meet Newman at the pet store, helping him pick out a turtle.
Try and stay calm.
Oh, that's cute.
So Jerry continues walking and runs into a guy named Seth that he hasn't seen in years. They're old college buddies, probably Queens College, right?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, makes sense. Even though Seth has to go back to work for a meeting, Jerry kind of pushes him, hey, blow it off. Let's grab some lunch.
Remember Poli-Sci? How many of those do we go to?
All right, I guess I can.
All right. Hey, whatever happened to Moochie?
He's dead.
Is that right? Poor Moochie. Did you notice right when Kramer and Jerry were walking down the street, you could see a couple posters on the stand behind them. Mm-hmm. There's a poster that says, opening Saturday at the Hayes Club, Norman and the Normettes with Michael Friedman. Do you think that's a reference to Michael Richards' stand-in, Norman Brenner?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Norman Brenner. Yeah, okay.
I think so. There's also a boxing, versus poster as well, but I didn't get a good look at that one.
7, 8, 9.
Very
it's
good.
Over.
Very good LD impersonation. Speaking of which, did you see there is on the Curb Instagram page, there was a little video of him running down the street?
Oh, really?
Of them filming, yeah.
Interesting.
It's very exciting. Mark Roberts plays Seth. This guy's actually more known for being a writer. He was a writer on 2.5 Men. He's on Mike and Molly. He directed a couple episodes as well. And he was in the Monica and Chandler wedding episode of Friends.
Oh.
Don't say anything.
What did he play in that?
I think he was like a director of some sort.
Wait, he was in the episode or he worked on that episode?
He was in the episode. I don't know if he was like a wedding director or something. I think it was titled as.
He's a real interesting actor. I guess it kind of makes sense that he's more of a behind the scenes guy because I never recognized this guy. But yeah, he has this weird vibe about him, Seth. He's very optimistic.
Yeah, things are always going to even out for him, right?
It seems
kind of
like
Jerry-like.
Yeah.
One other thing to note, Moochie was actually the name of a guy that Jerry went to high school with. So taking a page out of LD's book and incorporating him into the show.
Moochie. Kind of reminds me of Mookie from...
Mookie was there. Yes, it does.
I know, Game 6. Next scene, George and Elaine are at Barney's after grabbing some lunch. He doesn't really get how their lunch can be called a business expense.
What do you think of the catalog?
It stinks.
There, we just talked business.
So Elaine's doing a little shopping with the Peterman account, picking up a down comforter, some cookware, and this is when George tries on this huge Russian hat and actually gets complimented by the saleswoman, Heather. Peterman account?
And some hair for my little friend here. That was the line that we saw Elaine deliver to end that scene. There were 3 alternate lines that they were mulling around to go with. The first one being every bald man's fantasy. Next one being that's the worst toupee I've ever seen. So you can see a pattern here that they're pointing out George being bald. Third one being, are you overcompensating for your baldness or your lack of height? So had they poked fun at his stockiness, they could have gotten all 3 in one shot. We're also introduced to this character, Heather, who's played by Kimberly Khalil. She was in Jerry Maguire, a King of Queens episode. She's married to William Fichtner, who played the bank manager in The Dark Knight.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You and your friends are dead!
Yeah, I'm sure people know that guy. He's in a ton of stuff. That's wild. So they're a couple, huh? Interesting.
And she does have a Marissa Tomei thing going.
Yeah, we're going to hear that later. I wonder if she was sort of playing that up or that was something the writers put in the script after they got to meet the actress.
I would go with that one, yeah.
But it makes sense, with George's, love of Marissa Tomei and, they also have a scene on a bench later.
That's true. Let's go back and look at what Marissa was wearing and then what Heather was wearing, just to be safe.
Holly, get on it. Can you think of the last time we were at Barney's?
I was gonna say when when's Kramer on Madison Avenue?
Exactly.
Is that it?
Barney's has skinny mirrors
and hydrating lotion.
Yes.
With Uva. Okay. Moisturizer.
Uma gets a load of this Uva. That hat, dude, that George puts on is just so ridiculous. It reaches a point of absurdity that I actually hate it. Like, it irritates me.
Really?
The fact that it's so large and he is so confident in it.
Big hat! Big hat!
No, it's be cool, be cool.
I was doing big coat.
I know.
Okay.
Do you remember Be Cool, Be Cool?
From Pulp Fiction?
No, in that episode, I always thought that guy was saying, be cool to George. Have you listened to the show?
Okay.
Well, next scene, we're at a restaurant. Jerry and Seth are out to eat, catching up. Jerry tells him about last week's venture with NBC, almost having his own show in Japan. And Seth raises a good point. You speak Japanese?
No.
So you would have done it in Japan, but in English?
I don't know.
Why didn't we talk about that last week?
Good question. Good question, Aguado. I have no idea.
Well, Seth,
how did they show him on the Super Terrific Happy Hour? That was probably dubbed.
Yeah, or is him just like making a face or something?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Seth tells him about his job with a big investment firm and how they just got the Citibank account. In fact, the first big meeting is the one he just blew off. And, he doesn't seem that concerned about it until Jerry asks him, wasn't that kind of important?
I like Seth.
Yeah, he seems like I don't know if he's an idiot or if he just never wanted to work at this company. Like, what's going on there?
Oh, I think, and it's funny you say that because I was going to say, I think that I would probably do something similar if I were in Seth's situation, if I bumped into a high school or college acquaintance and they said, hey, let's come to lunch. And I'd say, okay. I wouldn't be able to say no. And I'd, probably lose my job as a result. So maybe that's why I identify with Seth.
Yeah, maybe. Well, next scene, we are at Jerry's apartment. He's on the phone with Elaine. She's going over all the stuff she bought with the Peterman account. And we get a great use of split screen here, don't we?
Yes. Panels,
Does
baby.
it remind you of another episode by any chance?
I'm thinking The Fix Up.
All right. In The Fix Up, you have Jerry talking to George, and I guess you get Elaine talking to Cynthia.
But hers is, she just states she's on the other line with Sylvia. Yeah, I gotta go. You don't get to see the third panel.
And this is interesting, too. We don't get split screen all that much on the show, but we do get call waiting.
Right.
Can you think of another classic moment with call waiting?
Jerry does it to Elaine when she's in the Peterman office. Is that what you're thinking of? When he clicks
What's that?
He clicks the plastic bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my call waiting. I gotta go.
That's a good one. I was thinking of the outing when...
the two-line phone. A two-line phone!
I could hear what you were saying on the other line.
This phone's a piece of junk. Goodbye.
This phone's a piece of junk. Goodbye. Well, the cool thing about this scene, not only do we get a split screen, but we're going to have another character, a third character. So eventually we're going to have all three characters sharing one space.
And I bought a whole new set of cookware and a water pick.
You use a water pick?
Sure. Water pick, floss, plaques, brush, Listerine.
So you go in the bathroom 11, you're in bed by what, 2?
The latest. Oh, hang on a second. I got another call. Hello?
Good day, Miss Bennis. It's Roger Ipswich.
Oh, hey. How things doing in accounting?
Miss Bennis, I notice you've been charging quite a bit of merchandise on the Peterman account.
Well, I am the president.
Yes. And we're all very impressed. Nevertheless, the expense account is for business purposes only.
Well, isn't the president allowed to do anything that they want?
No. I'll be in your office first thing tomorrow. Good day.
Good day.
Hello? Anybody?
I think this is one of the best executed scenes, and just it's so well done the way they use the panels, and it's very clever. And to leave Jerry kind of hanging. Hello, is anybody there? and then even Jerry plays it so well. He's checking buttons on his shirt. He's yawning. I think it's fabulous.
He makes some really weird faces at one point, like his eyes are just bugging out.
Nobody's watching. Michael D. Roberts plays Roger Ipswich. He was in Rain Man, Hostage, and an episode of The Michael Richards Show.
Very good.
And I should point out, Kelly made a little joke. My Kelly made a joke about the nighttime teeth routine that was pretty much verbatim to what Jerry said. And I had never been more attracted to her in that moment when she was going over all the things she does before bed. And I was able to say, so you're in the bathroom at 11, you're in bed by 2? It was good stuff.
At the latest. What about you, man? You always seem to be...
What about me?
You seem to be really good on your dental hygiene.
It's ups and downs for me.
Okay.
But I do floss twice a day.
Of course. You shouldn't do that before going to the dentist.
Need your strength.
Yeah.
Larry says he has the gums of a 25-year-old.
Was that on Curb, or is this real Larry?
It was on Curb.
Okay. I would believe it, though. I think dental hygiene was really big with Jerry and Larry.
Something they like to discuss, yeah.
Well, I think of dentotape in
Dentotape,
The
right.
Sniffing Accountant, the Oradent in the doll, here with the water pick.
Brush away from the gums.
Away. Do you remember when we'll hear the water pick again?
You're not giving away our water pick.
Oh, boy. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about in this scene? Oh, Robert Ipswich, not only one of my favorite Seinfeld names, but that is one of Alec Berg's high school teachers.
Nice.
So, comes from real life. In this scene, though, are there any lines that stand out to you that you enjoy?
Well, I like how casual and breezy Elaine is with Roger Ipswich. How, hey, how things doing in accounting? And then, yes, and we're all very impressed.
Yeah.
He totally does not respect her.
There's something to be said about that line. Isn't the president allowed to do anything they want? No.
If only that still applied. Never mind.
Yeah. Whoa, Vinny, hot button issue.
Warning, hot button.
All right, next scene here, we're at Monk's. George meets up with Jerry, not wearing a coat, just the hat. He might even have his sleeves rolled up.
I think so.
Yeah, despite being winter. Roll up, it's November.
I can't help but thinking of the correlation between George when he got the Gore-Tex coat and saying, it locks in the warmth, it's great.
Oh, yeah.
This now where he doesn't need a coat, but he has the hat. I can stay in the car and not be cold.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, if he had the hat and the coat,
he'd be sweating bullets. What if he had the hat, coat, and then ate Kung Pao chicken?
Hey. Why didn't you get the big one?
This hat just bottles in the heat. I don't even need a coat. It's unbelievable.
I don't believe it.
And I got a date with the saleswoman. She got a little Marissa Tomei thing going on.
Ah, too bad you got a little George Costanza thing going on.
Going out with her tomorrow. She said she had some errands to run.
That's a date?
What's the difference? You know the way I work. I'm like a commercial jingle. At first, it's a little irritating. Then you hear it a few times. You're humming it in the shower. By the third date, it's bye, Menon.
How do you make sure you're going to get to the third date?
If there's any doubt, I do a leave behind. Keys, gloves, scarf. I go back to her place to pick it up. Date number 2.
It is so cold. Why don't you just show up at her house on a wooden horse?
So I think the entire clip is a quotable, and every line here is right from, hey, why don't you get the big one?
You know who dropped that the other day?
Tell me about it.
Well, your Kelly did the whole, dental hygiene thing. I got a huge coffee at a Wawa, and when I got back to the car, Liz, sure enough, said, hey, why didn't you get the big one?
Lizmo dropped a Seinfeld quote?
She did.
Marry her. Love that one. I love, she's got a little Marissa Tomei thing going on. Mm-hmm. And too bad you got a little George Costanza thing going on.
Hey, how do you feel about this Heather lady? Since, you are such a huge fan of Marissa Tomei, my cousin Vinny, mm-hmm. Your girlfriend, always had a Marissa Tomei thing going on.
Darn tootin'. Yeah, I like her as well, just because she's got that MT thing going on. This scene I really do adore because it's kind of getting back to vintage Seinfeld with them in the restaurant or in Monk's, and they're talking small scale about, I just need a second date and then I'm in. And then George has this wonderful way of equating, Costanza being like a commercial jingle. I love that.
It's some scheming, and Jerry's there to poke holes in it. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. Genius
stuff with the writing here. And during the commentary, Jerry said something that was so, I think, endearing to Andy Ackerman, the director. And he said, sliding into that booth doing a scene was like getting into your favorite chair in the den. He always loved doing scenes, on the Monk set. Mm-hmm. And that was like, I couldn't help but tilt my head to the side and say, oh, that was really nice.
Didn't Jerry say he has one of the booths?
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's where he, that's his chair when he gets home from doing a set. He's like, let me slide into my favorite booth here.
That would be something.
Let's move over to Jerry's apartment here. He's about to unlock his door.
Bye, Menon.
When he notices a red dot on his door and traces it back to Kramer's peephole. And when Kramer opens the door, you can see his entire apartment is bathed in red light. You can also hear that electric buzzing. Turns out the red and the noise is from the Chicken Roasters sign across the street from the window. Why doesn't he just shut the shades?
They are shut. By the way, your friend Seth stopped by.
Oh, yeah? What'd he have to say?
Yeah, he was fired. So good. I know it's not written that way, but the execution of that line by Michael is...
He pretty much steps over Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fired.
It's so funny. You can't write that. It kind of reminded me. There is a blooper that came out of this scene.
I've got audio of it. Should we play it?
Oh, please.
We don't even need to set it up. This blooper, man. I love Jerry and Kramer. I'm sorry, Jerry and Michael cracking up together. It's wonderful.
Hey, buddy. What the hell is going on in there?
What?
The light!
Oh, the red? Yeah, it's a chicken roaster sign. Well, you know, it's right across from my window.
What's going on in there?
What?
That light!
Oh, the red? Yeah, it's a chicken roaster sign. Well, you know, it's right across from my window.
Can't you shut the shades?
Well, they are shut. Oh, by the way,
The light!
oh, the red?
Yeah!
Yeah, it's a chicken roaster sign. Well, you know, it's right across from my window.
I do love the several hits that Michael takes off the cigar, and it cracks Jerry up.
It's funny. It's the same kind of blocking from. Hey, Kramer,
you win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anytime he answers that door with a cigar in his mouth, laughs her head.
You know, you mentioned Jerry's commentary track on the DVD. He also mentioned, anytime Kramer had a cigar, it was like comedy gold.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There's something about that prop that always made him crack up. You know, the red dot that Jerry sees on the door when he first arrives, he kind of waves his hand in front of it. Sort of similar to the laser pointer in the Puerto Rican day.
Yes, yes it is.
Like a sniper is ready to pop you.
Speaking of which, we recently purchased one for our little K-Man.
Oh, yeah?
And he loves it. I can't tell if it's mean to use laser pointers with animals, because they can never catch it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I feel guilty about it sometimes, but he loves to chase after it, but it's the eternal quest of never getting that red dot.
Yeah, that's true. My mom has one for our cat.
Bonkers?
All right. Let's move over to Elaine's office here. Ipswich is going through the list of Elaine's purchases, and she's proving that, they're for legitimate business purposes, like the comforter she's wearing. It's actually the Aristotle goose down tunic.
Another bullseye.
Your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there? A water pick?
Water pick.
What does she use that for? It's like...
spritzing the plants, to water them.
But all Ipswich needs to see is the sable hat because it cost $8,000.
Woo! It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's this one kind of flies under the radar, I think, in terms of catalog items, because it probably didn't make it into the catalog, but it is referenced as such. The Aristotle goose down tunic.
She looks
pretty
ridiculous.
Cool.
Like,
yes, she does.
I mean, the comforter is just as big as she is. Mm-hmm. So.
To follow this scene, there was going to be another scene where George accidentally spilled some mustard on his hat, but that was cut due to time constraints.
Now, I've seen this. Did you watch the deleted scene?
No.
It takes place like where FDR works with his hot dog stand, and George is like, I bet you really like hot dogs, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, and he gets mustard on it, and he wipes it off. He puts the hat on, and he like struts off in his flannel shirt.
Nice.
Ugh, I just want to knock that hat off for some reason.
You are so anti-Sable.
Yeah. Anyways, next scene, we're in Jerry's apartment. Seth has stopped by, and Jerry still doesn't understand why would you go to lunch if the meeting was so important. And Seth says, because we're old college buddies.
I only knew you through Moochie.
It's kind of sad. Now, like, Jerry's kind of, like, backpedaling. Like, I barely know you.
And Seth doesn't, I mean, again, like you said, Seth has nobody to blame but himself, but he has no animosity toward Jerry.
And also, he mentions here, like, hey, at least we got to catch up. Like,
yeah.
Hello, this guy just said he barely knew you. Anyways, as he steps out, he grabs the newspaper to check the one ads, but Jerry kind of takes it back.
Actually, I haven't read Tank McNamara yet. During the commentary, in unison, both Andy Ackerman and Jerry said, that's a Tom Gamble joke, which I thought was kind of neat that they identified this line that it was contributed by Tom Gamble.
By Tom Gamble, yeah.
Shared a chuckle as a result.
Not sure what that means. Maybe, he was just a big, sports guy, but
I'm too lowbrow to understand that joke, but I like it nonetheless. Did you notice what Seth was wearing? Did he have sweatpants on?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he had sweatpants and like a flannel shirt on, so you could see how he went from this big executive job, suit, tie, to, more of a Costanza type outfit.
Hey, well, if he's wearing jeans, that's pretty much my everyday outfit.
That's why I said sweatpants.
Anyways, Kramer heads over, and he's kind of having trouble seeing from all the red light blasting out of his apartment.
How's life on the Red Planet?
It's killing me. I can't eat, I can't sleep. All I can see is that giant red sun in the shape of a chicken.
What, did you go down to the Kenny Rogers and complain?
Oh, they gave me the heave-ho. I don't think that Kenny Rogers has any idea what's going on down there.
What are you doing?
It's absurd.
That's tomato juice.
That looked like milk to me. Jerry, my rods and cones are all screwed up. All right, that's it. I gotta move in with you, Jerry.
I don't know, Kramer. My concern is that living together after a while, we might start to get on each other's nerves a little.
Now, listen to me. I got a great idea. Now, you're a heavy sleeper, right? Why don't we just switch apartments?
Or I could sleep in the park. You could knock these walls down, make it an 8-room luxury suite.
Jerry, these are load-bearing walls. They're not gonna come down.
Yeah, that's no good.
Now you have to drive that place out of business.
Well, how are you gonna do that?
Like we did in the 60s. Taking it to the streets.
So they gave Kramer the heave-ho, huh?
Heave-ho. This scene and just this episode, I think, has everything. It has great dialogue, great delivery, memorable quotes.
There's even some
zany, not too zany. I don't know.
There's some really cool cutaway shots, like Kramer scrunching the towel to get the excess tomato juice back in the pitcher, and then when he tries to throw it out, he of course trips and knocks it into the wall, and you see SpaghettiOs, all over the place.
SpaghettiOs?
Whatever. Noodles.
This is cereal.
Oh, that's it.
Wait, what?
Kramer previously lived with Jerry in the Wigmaster. Yes?
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm.
I like that as part.
I want to talk about that part where he squeezes the... I think it's the oven mitt, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wait, is it the kitty cat?
It is.
Oh, man.
So when Kramer spills the tomato juice and he's, soaking it up, and there's that insert of him squeezing it out, there is way too much juice coming out of it. Like, it is soaked.
Yeah, but did the joke come across?
Oh, yeah, it just didn't.
Enough said.
But, of course, we're kind of ignoring that last moment of the clip, one of the most iconic shots throughout the entire series of Kramer opening that door and being, pushed back from the red light.
Yeah.
I remember that mainly from the
clip show.
The clip show with the Superman theme.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Great bit of acting from Michael there. Can you think of another moment that deals with tomato juice? This is like my new trivia game. Like, can you think of another episode?
Doesn't I can think of tomato sauce.
No, I was thinking of the blood when Jerry's like, "This is blood, isn't it?" And he's like, "No, it's tomato juice."
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you're sick. You're sick.
Aw, I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm getting jazzed about season 8 and 9.
Oh, look at you. Yeah, but just some great quotes in there and more to come. Let's cut over to Heather's apartment. George arrives with Heather after running some errands, and he's still wearing that hat. And you know how he gets the bag stuck in the door?
Yes.
There's something about his, his performance here. Not Jason, I guess George. Just, it really bothers me for some reason. It doesn't get on your nerves?
No, I'm smitten with Costanza.
Anyways, George tries to stick around, make plans for the week, but Heather turns him down. She's going to be busy for a while. What do you think went down on this date? is it George? Is it the hat?
I have a feeling it was partially the hat, the short sleeves, mostly George. Perhaps he, brought up his feelings about Manor, and maybe she didn't take to it as well as Marissa Tomei did. Because we're going to see kind of some subversion here of characters, almost one could say Bizarro. So maybe this is like the Bizarro Marissa Tomei, and she doesn't like Manor like the actual Marissa Tomei does.
But we're going to get a twist. Boom. At the end of the episode.
Of tomato juice.
So George realizes this lady doesn't want to see me again. So he tosses his keys on the table and dashes for the door, as he explained to Jerry. But she tells him, hey, you forgot your keys. So time's running out. George has nothing to leave behind. But when Heather answers the phone, he sticks the sable hat under a couch cushion and sneaks out.
Costanza. So there's can't stand ya, and then there's Costanza.
Mr. Costanza. Oh, there's also Bonanza.
Oh, Mr. Bonanza. To see you. Anything else? We did can't stand ya.
I actually have a question coming up with George nicknames.
Okay.
I'll save it. Next scene, we're at Elaine's office, and George has stopped by. No hat.
Are these alive?
We're both doing the tapping. No, dead. So Elaine is freaking out and tells George she needs the Russian hat back. And he plays it cool. Hey, I'll call Heather. Elaine gets the hat back, and he gets a second date. Now, watch the magic.
Dial 9, Merlin. Now, how is George supposed to know? He doesn't work there. How would he know that 9 dials out?
Well, this had me wondering, with Elaine calling him Merlin, how many nicknames George has been given throughout the series. There's Merlin, Copernicus.
Nice. There's Giorgio, Georgie Boy.
Boy George.
Gorgeous George.
There you go, yeah.
Georgie!
Of course, you have your Coco and your T-Bone and whatnot.
Right.
But...
Well, those are the obvious. I had a T-Bone yesterday. It was delicious.
Oh, I thought you meant like a T-Bone come into the pharmacy.
No.
I have a pickup for T-Bone.
Speaking of this dial 9 business, at work... you have to dial out. You have to do 9, then 1, then dial the number, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So a guy came into the pharmacy, a customer, and he said, "Oh, I need to call such and such. Can I use your phone?" So I wasn't here for this. This was the story they told me. They turn the phone around and they give it to him. Okay, here you go. So he dials. He I don't know if he tried to dial the number, it wasn't working, and then somebody said dial 9 Merlin to him, whatever, but. The number he had to dial, I think, started with a 1. So he dialed 911, and it went straight to 911. And sure enough, they picked up, and the store got fined for a false 911 call.
Oh, man.
So now we're not allowed to have anybody touch our phone. We can't. A precedent was set.
Oh, my God.
Is that interesting?
Do any area codes start with 1?
I don't know. I don't know why that happened with the 9-1 and then 1.
Or maybe he didn't think he hit the 1 the first time.
Perhaps.
Very interesting.
Or maybe it was one of those 976 numbers.
Listeners, what do you think? Well, George calls Heather. And she's... Oh, yeah? What?
Sorry.
What was that?
I was waiting.
Oh. So George... Oh, got it.
I was jumping the gun.
Okay. So George calls Heather, and, of course, she's not happy to hear from him. And we get a shocking turn of events. She looks all around the apartment, does not see the hat anywhere. And before George can ask her to double check, she hangs up. Yeah, hello?
Maybe the maid took it. She had people over. Right. Who knows?
Well, let's cut over to Kenny Rogers' Roasters. Jerry's walking by and can't believe what he sees. Seth in full uniform, the black and white shirt, the apron, the paper hat, taking out the trash. That's right. He's Mr. Manager.
Oh, Mr. Manager.
That's for
Mr.
you.
Manager. Thank you.
And Jerry tries to talk some sense into him. Seth, you're an executive. This is fast food.
Not fast food. Good food quickly. He's even a hard worker. He's working at Kenny Rogers now, but he's taking it, so seriously.
He's eerily optimistic too. With next time lunch will be on me, huh, Jer?
Yeah, he's making light of a unpleasant situation.
I wish I had this optimism. This is very inspiring.
It's almost Ming Chen level.
Yeah, a little bit. So suddenly the guys hear some screaming from a window across the street, and they look up, and there's Kramer with this giant sign hanging out his window reading "Bad Chicken." And he starts screaming how bad the chicken is at Kenny Rogers, how it'll mess you up. And Seth realizes that's not going to be good for business.
That's not going to be good for anybody.
Love that line.
Classic. My buddy from grade school, when we would quote Seinfeld in high school, would always he'd love saying, "mess you up." And we'd always chuckle with that. It was great.
Well, we get an act break, and, at some point during the act break, Jerry agrees with Kramer to switch apartments in order to help Seth find his footing.
Jerry, I'm so glad we switched apartments. It was a perfect solution.
Look, Kramer, if I'm gonna live over there, you gotta take some of this stuff out. I mean, this thing is really freaking me out. I feel like it's gonna come to life in the middle of the night and kill me.
What, Mr. Marbles? He's harmless.
And one other thing. I don't want Newman using my... Oh, no.
Nice place you got here, Kramer.
Yeah.
The man could really get some thinking done.
Well, don't get too comfortable. As soon as Seth gets a real job, you two are going back in that chicken supernova.
Is that Roger's chicken? Oh, get that out of here.
I don't know. The man makes a pretty strong bird.
Yeah, but I'm boycotting. What is that, hiccup?
Yeah. It's the wood that makes it good.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, stop it.
This episode was already fantastic, with the Jerry and Kramer arc, but now you add Newman to the mix. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful. I love that reveal of him coming out of the bathroom. Really get some thinking done around here. But I think we should really talk about a fourth character from this scene.
Oh, who other than the harmless Mr. Marbles makes an appearance.
Are you scared of Mr. Marbles? Do you find him creepy?
He is a little creepy, yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I wanted to be a ventriloquist, professionally, but I did want a dummy growing up. I thought they were very cool.
Remember the Goosebumps series, the one with the dummy? That was always the one I liked.
I think that's what got me into dummies, at least for a brief while.
George wanted to be a ventriloquist at some point.
Yes. And as you've mentioned before, there's always a sawdust joke in there.
Mm-hmm. But
any moments from this scene that stand out to you?
I like that Newman really seems to adore Jerry's place at this point. There's no animosity towards his apartment. It's just the guy who used to live there.
Of course. And I think he's getting pleasure, using the toilet, soiling the bathroom. And, hey, this isn't the first time he uses the bathroom.
Oh, you're talking about oh, crap. What's the name of that?
The barber.
I was going to say, yeah.
Flush twice.
Yeah. There's no hair in this thing.
So, Kramer steals the show this week. Newman, close second.
Yeah, I think Newman and Jerry are tied.
They really are.
Second.
There's this great moment where Jerry has that line, as soon as Seth gets a real job, you two are going back in that chicken supernova. And he puts those ridiculous glasses on and does the nod.
Those geriatric glasses that seal in all of the sun.
Love that visual. Anytime Jerry can, put on glasses or that hat with the flaps, it's gold.
Yeah. A lot of props in this episode, right?
Oh, yeah.
We got Mr. Marbles, the glasses, the hat, there's clocks coming up. There
broccoli.
Broccoli. Okay. There's some Fusilli statues that we see Kramer unpacking in the wide shots of the screen or scene.
Despite moving just across the hall, he's bringing stuff with him. I really have to make this a home.
Yeah, of course.
Now, probably one of the coolest details, other than those little figures you mentioned on the coffee table, did you see the the entertainment shelf in the back?
I did not, and I'm kind of regretting it now because I made sure to take a screen grab of the little guys. What did you find?
So the Superman statue back there, the one you're always shopping for?
Yeah.
It's gone. I don't know where it is, but in its place is that giant Fusilli Jerry.
Oh,
you know the one I'm talking about? That's
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Wow. See, again, the attention to detail that went into this with either the writers or the prop department, it's amazing.
I think it's having trouble, though. Like, I don't know if the glue's holding up because it's kind of like leaning over. Like it's going to fall.
The Leaning Tower of Fusilli.
Yeah.
The highlight of the scene for me was when Kramer went to go try a piece of chicken and Newman growls at him.
Oh, stop it. And also, there's something about like this era of Kramer. I would do this a lot in college, like impersonate this sort of Kramer with, what is that, Roger's Chicken? Oh, get that out of here. Love that.
Yes, you did.
So something I didn't like in college, like if we're drinking or eating, oh, get that out of here.
Oh, yeah. Missed those days.
We're old college buddies. Next scene, we're at Heather's apartment. Heather answers the door, and there's Elaine, who explains, we met at Barney's the other day. She's a friend of George Costanza's.
Hello again.
What a great reveal. Like, Elaine has George off to the side and just pulls him into frame by the ear.
She dragged him all the way over there.
I like thinking that, yeah, they didn't even take a cab. She just walked him down the sidewalk. So Elaine cuts to the chase and explains George's pathetic plan to weasel a second date out of Heather. What is George doing the whole time?
He's playing with the little lock chain on the door, which is really like it's a wholesome image. This child with his tail between his legs trying to find something to keep busy while the adults are talking about him.
Isn't she like, yeah, he's a real confidence problem? And he's like, well, not really.
Well, not, yeah.
George. So Elaine says she just really needs the hat, and Heather seems understanding, but the truth is she doesn't have it. Maybe the maid took it, she had people over. In the end, she lets the two search the apartment, and later we find out that they found nothing, no hat. And George is convinced that Heather has it stashed away somewhere, and even tells Elaine, hey, this day wasn't a total loss. And he reveals this clock from Heather's mantle hidden under his jacket.
Well done.
This is one for our side. I love the reveal. He's like, check this out.
Yeah.
All right. Let's cut over to the two apartments here, Jerry and Kramer's. Let's talk about Jerry's apartment first. Kramer's in bed. Disgusting scene here.
He's shirt is wide open. You see Kramer's hairy chest. It's a little oily. He's got oil, chicken oil all over his face.
The grease, yeah.
Grease. And he seems to be like bopping back and forth. He doesn't have a vibrating bed, right? That's Kramer doing that.
Yeah, he's just rocking back and forth. Like, a vibrating bed's the best way to explain it.
And he wipes his mouth on the comforter and the sheets. And it's disgusting, but he is like a pig right now, just living it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, chicken everywhere. There's, I think one point he has like a big piece of chicken skin on his chest, and he looks at it and just throws it away, like off screen. Great image. And let's cut over to Kramer's apartment, which is very interesting. I have a clip for it. Jerry's in bed. There's some red light, in the darkness. And he looks scared, doesn't he?
Yes, he kind of is pulling the covers up as high as he can while still peering over them.
Mm-hmm.
What is that creaking? It's like I'm in the hold of a ship. Gotta relax.
Hello? Is somebody there? Mr. Marbles?
Ooh, the sound of Mr. Marble scurrying the...
Yeah, it's a great image. That's it's one of those moments. Remember the other week, I'm like, what's the Halloween, the scary episode of Seinfeld?
Yeah, this would be one of them.
Or at least, yeah, just like this moment. I wish we could like put a montage of all of the scary moments together.
Mm-hmm.
Work great.
And I'm sure you got to include Jerry with Black Forest. You're in the forest, scary. Ooh.
All right, so Mr. Marbles is possibly alive. We don't know. But let's cut back to Jerry's apartment the next day. Elaine visits with Kramer, and it seems like the neighbors have switched more than just apartments.
So I told Ipswich I'd have the hat by this afternoon. What am I gonna do?
You should sleep with him.
I'm on no sleep. No sleep. You don't know what it's like in there. All night long, things are creaking and cracking, and that red light is burning my brain.
You look a little stressed.
Oh, I'm stressed.
So, Kramer, what am I supposed to do if I don't have that fur hat by 4 o'clock? They're going to take me down like Nixon.
You know my friend Bob Sacramento?
I thought he was Kramer's friend.
Well, he called last night about 3 a.m. and we got to talking. He sells Russian hats down at Battery Park. $40.
$40? Are they sable?
No, but the difference is negligible.
Oh, yeah, I like this idea.
All right, let's give it a shot. Let's go.
Giddy up.
It's getting cold. It's getting cold.
That was a close one.
But why do we have to keep this from Jerry?
Because if Jerry finds out that I'm hooked on Roger's chicken, I'm back in there with the Red Menace.
I don't know. I'm not wearing a hat right now, but if I did, I'd be tipping it to Jerry. His performance in this is so wonderful, and I think somebody pointed out in one of the commentaries or interviews just like how his acting has really, now he is an actor. He's playing a role. He's not just playing himself, but he's really kind of doing a version of Kramer or an impression of Kramer, and it's so marvelous. Meanwhile, you see Michael kind of observing Jerry doing this Kramer impression, which is kind of interesting to see. And Michael's playing it more like the straight man now, saying, "You should sleep with him."
Right. Oh, I like this idea.
Exactly. But every line with "Oh, I'm stressed," and "They're creaking and crawling, it's burning my brain." Everything is so well done here. 2
other moments I love at the end. Giddy up, very excited. But
it's basically every single line that Jerry delivers.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
but the difference is negligible.
That moment, I think, is key because we always loved it whenever Michael, had a little bit of ice cream or he was eating something, and he'd deliver his line mid-swallow. And it's just incredible that Jerry, I don't know, he came up with that in this scene. Now, it's, crazy. Jerry does a great performance here, but I don't think he did much preparing for this, right? Didn't he, nail this during the rehearsal, and this is, what they used?
Exactly. According to Andy Ackerman, first rehearsal, he nailed it. This is what you saw.
Now, there's this weird moment when Jerry and Elaine are leaving right after the giddy up, where they're going to the door, and it almost looks like they're closing it. But instead we cut to Newman, it's getting cold. Jerry was going to grab the door handle, and it was going to feel odd. He'd say, "Why is this doorknob all greasy?" And then he'd smell his hand, and he'd be like, "Oh, it smells like hickory." And then Kramer gets kind of nervous, and he's like, "Oh, I sprayed it with WD-40, new scent, home style."
Home style. But it's interesting, that question, why is the doorknob all greasy? And then later on, once Jerry becomes wise to what's going on, he says, "The greasy doorknob, the licking of the fingers."
Oh, there you go.
He's hooked on the chicken.
Good work, Nancy Drew.
Thank you.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I like the idea of I don't know, those signs starting earlier. It's not just Jerry at
Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, Kenny Rogers realizing, hey, wait a second, what's going on here? I think that scene might be our favorite of the episode.
Agreed. Yep.
It's in the running.
But doesn't it kind of relate to the Bizarro? You could pick this scene up and then plant it in the Bizarro Jerry in a way, and it would kind of make sense.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it's a coincidence that the pilot, one of my favorite episodes, Bizarro Jerry, one of my favorite episodes. I don't know where this is going to fall this week, but they all have that running theme of, I don't know, kind of rewarding the viewers, the long-term viewers. You're going to get these jokes.
Yep.
All right, next scene, we're in Elaine's office, and Elaine gives Ipswich one of those Bob Sacramento Russian hats, which we didn't talk about. Ipswich, though, can tell it's not the same. The hat Elaine purchased was sable. This is nutria.
Well, that's a kind of sable.
No, it's a kind of rat.
That's a rat hat?
And a poorly made one, even by rat hat standards. Interesting background, this Ipswich guy. He's an accountant. He knows Russian hats, but since Elaine failed to produce the original hat, Ipswich has to report her to the board of directors. She's going to be fired unless she gets the approval of J. Peterman himself. But, Vinny, as we remember from the Foundation, he's in the Burmese jungle.
And quite mad, too, from what I hear.
Wait a minute. Can I fire you?
No. He is taking a little bit of glee in the fact that Elaine's head is on the chopping block. Mm-hmm. Yes?
Oh, absolutely. And he's just like totally out of her her power, you know?
Yeah. But to ask the guy you want to fire, can I fire you? Clearly she's not cut out for management.
Yeah. And also there was some deleted dialogue, right? After she couldn't fire him, she was going to be like, well, what's the point of being president? I don't get this job. I just like seeing her pout in her chair.
She's not channeling her katra.
Yeah. All right, so let's go over to Monk's here. And what a rare scene this is. George having lunch with Kramer.
Yeah.
I know we're going to get emails on this, but last time this happened, I think, was the Keys?
Where he liked to get the Daily News?
Yeah.
Look at you. Oh, Kramer, don't start.
Can you think of any other George Kramer moment at Monk's? I'm having trouble.
There's George Kramer Estelle when she gets the eye job.
Yeah.
And you want at Monk's specifically?
Yeah, at Monk's, just George and Kramer for the entire scene.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. I'm sure it's out there, but nevertheless, Kramer is adopting more of the Jerry persona, not taking anything George says serious. Turns out Heather called and asked to get together, if George has the time. And George thinks that she's getting ready to make an exchange, the hat for the clock.
Well, there is the possibility that you've gone right out of your mind.
I've looked at that. Seems unlikely.
I'd look again.
You have to take a sip with each line, right?
There's a moment where I think Kramer says that there's a possibility of going right out of your mind. George kind of glances up at Kramer as if this realization of, you're acting just like Jerry now.
Well, if you're wondering why George isn't talking to Jerry about this, he says he can't talk to him anymore since moving into the other apartment, Jerry is too much like Kramer.
That's a shame.
So that means the main three, the three guys have done That's a Shame. I don't know if Elaine has ever done That's a Shame.
She's had to have done it.
Yeah, she's either already done it or she will do it. But that's a quick Google search that could solve the question. But we won't be doing that. Instead, I want to play a blooper from this scene. Do you remember this one?
Yes, I do. It seems as though anytime somebody farts on set, Michael refers to it as a foo-foo. That's not the first time he's done that.
Okay. I've looked at that. It seems unlikely.
Now, let's do it again. That ketchup made a funny sound.
Well, if I do it again, I'm going to have a plate of ketchup.
But if you don't do it again, they'll think you foo-fooed on TV. All right. That's my first one. So, how come you didn't call Jerry about all this?
Oh, Jerry.
Do you know where the blooper is with when George is sitting there and he's eating, and after they screw up, he looks over to the crew and says, next time, can we cook the fries, please?
Ooh, I think that's from either season 5 or 6.
5 or 6, yeah.
I have passed those already, yeah.
Yeah, I love that line. I thought that was going to happen here with the ketchup, but...
Aw.
Next scene, we're at Kenny Rogers Roasters, and Jerry is begging Seth, please, can you turn off the sign? You're Mr. Manager, but... Seth comes clean.
Seth, you're the manager. Can't you turn off that sign?
Jerry, I lied. I'm just an assistant manager. Number 67, Family Feast.
Number 67!
Right here. Right here. Hello, Newman.
Hello, Jerry.
And don't forget your steamed broccoli.
Hold it. Broccoli? Newman, you wouldn't eat broccoli if it was deep fried in chocolate sauce.
I love broccoli. It's good for you.
Really? Then maybe you'd like to have a piece.
Gladly. Vile weed!
It's Kramer, isn't it? I knew it. The greasy doorknob, the constant licking of the fingers. He's hooked on the chicken, isn't he?
Yes! Yes! Now, please! someone honey mustard!
So, we thought Jerry had the title for number 2, best performance in this episode, and now here's Newman slugging back, trying to get that number 2 spot.
This might be the most memorable Newman scene from the entire series. I don't know, whenever I bring this up at trivia, people love it.
Spitting out that broccoli, the vile weed line, then taking the shot of honey mustard.
The best part is, he has to leave with dignity.
Yes, he adjusts his jacket, and as he leaves, you hear this little... He's composed himself now.
And I want to tip my hat to Seth. I love the delivery of number 67, Family Feast.
Yeah.
That's one of those, another bullseye lines that just stick with you.
Yeah. What is it? That he's doing it over the PA system. Family Feast.
Number 67, right here. And Newman has this whole family feast to himself, of course, since Jerry finds out that it's Kramer.
Have you used that in trivia, the 67?
No, I don't use
what
numbers.
Number is?
I don't use numbers unless they really are a major part of the plot or a quote.
That's a good trivia host.
But I have asked, what is the name of Newman's order?
Oh, that's a good one.
Family Feast. Mm-hmm. So what else do we have here? Oh, so can we leave the scene, or was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Well, did you see the deleted scene of Elaine searching for Mr. Peterman in Burma?
I just read about it.
Okay, you haven't seen it though, right?
No.
Well, it's a throwback to the Foundation when Peterman calls Elaine from the phone booth. I'm in Burma. Elaine's in the phone booth this time, and she's upset. She's like, there's no J. Peterman listed in the entire greater metropolitan Yangon area. And she hangs up, and then you see these people walking by. A person is carrying a basket, wearing a duster. And then there's someone with a Hyannisport cable knit sweater draped over his shoulders. Elaine's recognizing all these products.
Nice.
And she's like, he must be nearby. And then she looks off camera and says, you there with the melons, sell me your motorbike.
Oh, that's great. Why'd they cut that?
Well, I think this episode was running a bit long.
So make it a two-parter. Give us more.
But if any listeners don't remember, in the Foundation, Peterman said, you there on the motorbike, sell me one of your melons. So, little switcheroo there.
That's great. Yeah.
All right, next scene, we're in Jerry's apartment, and we get a conclusion to the Jerry Kramer apartment situation.
Newman, what took you... Hey! Buddy!
Expecting Newman? That's funny, because I just happened upon him down at the Kenny Rogers Roasters.
Oh, Kenny Rogers. Boy, I hate that place.
He was buying quite a load of chicken, almost enough for 2 people. Oh. As long as one of them's not him.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Elaine, she stopped by. Yeah, dropped off that Bob Sacramento hat. Yeah, she's upset with him. Yes, sirree. Yeah, well, thanks for stopping by.
I sure do miss my apartment. Maybe I'll switch back.
Oh, you don't want to think about that. No, sir. Otherwise, I'd have no choice but to put that banner back up and, run that Rogers right out of town.
I don't think you will. As a matter of fact, I'll save you the trouble. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, put the banner up. Doesn't matter to me.
All right.
No, Jerry, look! I need that chicken. I gotta have it. You leave those roasters alone. Kenny never hurt anybody.
You got a little problem.
Oh, I got a big problem, Jerry.
Another great scene.
I have no words. Yeah, the scene speaks for itself. It's so friggin' good.
Once again, man, Michael and Jerry just knocking out of the park. I think the line deliveries are perfect. The blocking is so clever. With probably my favorite part is when, Kramer's leafing through the magazine and he's kind of nervous. And he's like, I'm going to have no choice to put that banner up and run that Rogers right out of town.
I don't think you will.
He's right there. And did you notice Jerry's smile at the beginning where he's like, Newman was buying quite a lot of chicken, almost for 2 people, as long as one of them isn't him. And he's he nods.
Yeah. Fab, you lost.
Yeah, MVP this week has to go to Michael, though.
I still can't get over that he doesn't even like chicken.
Next scene, we're in the Burmese jungle or Myanmar, what have you. And Elaine is led through this dark cave or temple deep in the jungle, and a Burmese boy tells her to kneel, and a voice calls out from the darkness.
He demands that she kneel.
Elaine.
Mr. Peterman.
Jabba. Magalaban Jabba. Anagala Hunga.
You speak Burmese?
Oh, Elaine. That was gibberish. So, did you have any trouble finding the place?
You're the only white poet warlord in the neighborhood.
Are you an assassin?
I work for your mail order catalog.
You're an errand girl sent by grocery clerks to collect a bill.
Well, actually, I do have a bill here. If you could just sign this expense form, I think I could still make the last fan boat out of here.
I'd be happy to, Elaine.
There you go.
But I will have to see this hat.
Peterman is so good at doing either gibberish or there's another episode where he does the language of the...
It's the woolly head.
of Bantu Besh or something.
I can't do it.
But, Jabba.
You speak Burmese?
No, that was gibberish.
Yeah. John O'Hurley, we haven't seen him, since the first episode. And I don't know, he is sorely missed when we get these scenes. I'm like, oh, Peterman, it's been too long.
Now, apparently, the scene is, I haven't seen the movie, but they're paying homage to Apocalypse Now. Is that what I was reading?
This is like Elaine is Martin Sheen in that movie, and Peterman is Marlon Brando as Colonel Kurtz. The lines like, are you an assassin? You're an errand girl instead of errand boy.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
That's also from the movie. Mm-hmm.
He's suspicious of her.
Yeah. Yeah, they do a really good job. I mean, those aren't the only lines. It's even the line that ends the episode, which we'll get to in a little bit here, is also from Apocalypse Now. But for some reason, Peterman has to see the hat, right? It's just, I guess, so expensive.
Well, it's $8,000. It's 8 large.
All right, let's cut over to Central Park. George meets with Heather on a bench at night. And George is kind of treating it like some, I don't know, like undercover drop site, He's like holding a white paper bag.
Very, very aware of his surrounding. If they're going to move in and swarm.
It's like he's not even looking at her. He's like, how do you want to do this?
Well, they're making the drop, man, like a mob.
Heather is acting completely different, right? She's no longer the George, bye.
She's desoured and sweetened, if you ask me.
Yeah, and she actually comes clean here. She found George very irritating initially, but after seeing him a couple of times, he got stuck in her head.
Stanza.
I'm glad you did that. And George kind of realizes here, well, I don't think she has the hat. He kind of hides the bag he's brought, but she wants to know what's in it. And
let's do something.
What's in the bag? Oh, it's just a sandwich. And the alarm goes off, and she rips open the bag, finds her clock.
That damn delicatessen. That's the last time they screw up one of my orders.
So that's it for the George and Heather storyline. What do you think happened to the hat? Is it likely with the maid, with one of the house guests?
I think Lupe took it.
Lupe moved across the country, got a job working for Heather, only to ruin George's life for not tipping her.
Exactly.
I buy it. Nice. I don't know if you picked up on it in this scene, maybe the way we're breaking it down, but there was a lot of writing issues with this scene. They didn't really know how to end it. And which, I don't know, maybe as a viewer, we kind of take that for granted. We're like, yeah, it works, whatever.
It's perfect.
Heather storms off. But in the original ending, they didn't have the clock go off. They needed to find a way for Heather to find out what's inside the bag.
Yeah.
And I heard two different stories. I heard Jerry came up with it, and then I also heard that Spike Fierstein came up with it.
Okay.
But
well, it was a kind of writer's room this season, so it kind of makes sense that they couldn't quite pinpoint who came up with the idea.
Yeah.
it seems so natural and just, of course, the alarm would go off to alert her that, you stole it?
Yeah, very rarely on the show where we ever like, oh, it would have been much better if they did this, or much more clever if they did this, because, I don't know, even those last-minute solutions or ideas seem perfect. Like, yeah, there's no other way to do this.
Mm-hmm. It cannot not be funny.
So as Heather storms off... Baron Von Vinnie here tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next scene, we're at Kenny Rogers' Roasters. Jerry caught in the rain for a second time in as many weeks. But this time he has the Nutria hat, and he's taking shelter inside the Roasters and tells Seth, man, it's really coming down out there.
Woo!
Starts shaking the water out of the hat as rat fur goes flying, landing in people's food. That's not going to be good for business.
That's not going to be good for anybody. Hey, I guess Jerry this week really can blame it on the rain.
All right, that's enough. Now get the hell out of here. So things are not going well for Seth and Kenny Rogers' Roasters as all this dirty rat fur is falling in people's food. We cut over to Kramer's apartment, and he's in his own bed this time. The whole place filled with red light, and he's just rocking away, eating his chicken. He's very happy. When suddenly, doo, the red light disappears. You can hear the sign shut down.
Kenny? Kenny! Kenny!
All right, that's enough. Yeah, sure enough, Kramer is very upset that Kenny Rogers is shutting down for good. And during the credits, we get this great little, a couple of vignettes here. We're cutting around to different locations. Kramer sits in his apartment window, defeated. He's got a new sign. This time it says, Kenny, come back. And he's probably been saying Kenny this whole time, right?
Kenny. Kenny. Kenny.
And then let's cut over across the hall at night. Jerry's settling into his own bed, glad to be home at last. And as he drifts off to sleep, he hears like a floorboard creak. And little footsteps as the small silhouette just moves across the wall.
Mr. Marbles.
Now, I don't think we have footage of this, but did you hear there was going to be some, more material with the doll?
No.
Apparently, they were going to have a take of Mr. Marbles, at least the shadow, picking up like this giant carving knife.
Oh.
And like walk towards the bed.
Wasted opportunity. See, they could have done a full hour show and then also added in very creepy, like made it a Halloween type episode.
Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah, that would have been great. I mean, it was just 2 weeks after Halloween. But it's funny, we're praising this stuff and we're really getting a kick out of it. But Jeff was the one to say on the DVD commentary that he doesn't think Larry David would ever do the Mr. Marbles thing.
Probably not. That doesn't seem... Again, like Larry seems so... I used lowbrow earlier, but he seems highbrow in a way. Like, he's too clever. I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I think we're all on the same page here. I mean,
I'm not. I don't know what I'm saying.
I think a dummy coming to life and killing one of the main characters is pretty out there for Seinfeld. But again,
it's not funny.
I think we all know where we are on with the series. It's not like we're in the middle of season 4 and all of a sudden like a doll is coming to life. But I don't know. There's something about this episode. Maybe I give it a pass because it's so good through and through that Mr. Marbles doesn't bug me. But
it's Bizarro.
I'm not sure how many episodes from 8 and 9 Larry would even really agree with. But again, we've said this before, that the kids are excited to have the house to themselves. Dad's not home.
Right. The marbles will play.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, the last scene here, we're back to the Burmese jungle as Elaine shows Peterman the cover of the last catalog, the one and only Urban Sombrero. And he gets one look at it and just lays down.
The horror. The horror. I use that a lot in the wild sometimes with Seinfeld fans and non, and usually it never lands. Nobody ever likes it.
Well, everyone's like, are you quoting Marlon Brando?
Oh, man.
So, what do you think?
So Matt, is this episode Bad Chicken mess you up, or can he come back?
Oh, this is definitely Kenny Come Back, man. I love the chicken roaster. One of my favorite episodes from season 8. I think one of Michael Richards' best episodes. So good.
Oh yeah, highlight of the season so far is Michael Richards and that red light in the shape of a chicken.
And you know, as much as we go on about like how much we love Elaine and the Jerry George dynamic, you know, Jerry and Larry, it's so perfect. But the silly side of me just loves Jerry and Kramer antics. I think it's so funny, and I love when Jerry can be goofy, especially when he's really enjoying the material. And I just got that vibe throughout this entire episode. Don't really care all that much for the Elaine and George storylines. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say they're bad or forgettable. They just don't really do it for me the way the Jerry Kramer stuff does. It's kind of similar to the Kiss Hello, which I was a big fan of.
Okay, yeah, I would actually argue that they're both kind of a tie for the weakest.
What was that?
Kelly, man, Kelly's coughing.
Oh, it's all good. I thought it was Kramer.
He's just yakking on a bone.
Crelly.
Crelly.
The two loves of your life, Crelly. Yeah. No, keep going here. We'll wrap up soon.
I would argue that the George storyline is probably the weakest of them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Kramer and Jerry is like a culmination of 8 years of Jerry learning and being taught how to be an actor, to him shining as a Kramer clone in this episode, which I think is amazing.
And yeah, you know, getting back to that whole like Kramer and Jerry, you know, switching places, I think that's really rewarding for us longtime Seinfeld fans, the diehard fans, the people that get all those little jokes and mannerisms. I don't know if that's really fair. Like, can you put an episode that's sort of parodying itself on par with like an original idea like The Contest?
No,
Is it like an unfair advantage that they're just kind of referring back to themselves?
Absolutely, because if you show an episode like this to somebody, they're like, okay, so, you know, right. Jerry's hair is high and he's sliding in, big deal. Versus The Contest is just a well-written episode that's funny from, you know, start to finish. Whereas this one is purely written for the fans.
Sure.
But it just happens to be a Seinfeld episode of the week, but it rewards those that have been, you know, with us from day one, or at least know all the jokes and all the ins. But damn, does it come together to make one fine episode?
Oh, absolutely. I love the chicken roaster. I think I'm going to put this at my number, get ready for it, my number 12 between between the Marine Biologist and the Implant, which means I have to say goodbye, unfortunately, to the Kiss Hello, which again,
you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, they're not, you know, they're kind of similar episodes with the Jerry Kramer storylines, but I'm curious to see how you feel, you know, overall, and if this would crack your top 20.
Well,
I'm kind of assuming
spoiler
a lot
alert
here. Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed this episode. There were those, you know, really quotable moments that made me laugh out loud, and I enjoyed the Kramer Jerry, you know, dynamic, the back and forth. But this wouldn't crack my top 20, unfortunately. I got the Rye and the Fusilli Jerry kind of holding firm. This would probably be in my, you know, 25 to 30 range. So it's a really good episode that I really enjoy, but this will not crack my top 20, and I love LD so much that I don't want any of his episodes to fall out of favor. Sorry.
You know, it's funny. I'm sure if you asked most of the writers on Seinfeld at this point, they'd be like, "Oh no, hang on to those episodes, Vinny. Like, don't let them go."
Well, they're my babies. You know, I don't want them to go. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Seincast this week. Please feel free to shoot us an email at seincast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, or leave us a voicemail at Coco Bosco.
Vinny, what episode do we have next week?
We are discussing the 9th episode of Season 8, The Abstinence. Matt, I'm looking for a 4-letter word. Winnie the blank.
Pooh!
Pooh!
No, it's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
But for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off. Seinecast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.